I never asked.
You're big time. So we have seen endorsements on Twitter and Instagram, but today Arnold Schwarzenegger endorsed Kasich and Snapchat. Is this new? Is this what's going on here?
It is new, and it's powerful.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger has a ton of followers on Snapchat, and he's known John Kasich for a long time. Arnold has embraced the platform, and Kasich has too.
Let's watch it.
I want John Kasich to be the next nominee of the Republicans and also to be the next president of the United States. Here he is.
Thank you, Arnold. Love you, man.
On Snapchat.
It's a Snapchat scoop.
It's really cool. Is this more effective than a traditional endorsement, you think?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. It depends how you do it. Arnold obviously has a tremendous following. I think early adopters of Snapchat and other platforms get rewarded for it. Arnold's one of them. John Kasich early on in the campaign was one of the first presidential candidates to go full bore into using Snapchat. You know why? Because he has two kids who are in high school and college, and they use it, and they said, "Dad, you got to use this. This is where all my friends are communicating. It's where they're getting their news." And John Kasich on the campaign trail in New Hampshire, in Iowa, on the road in Michigan, he's using Snapchat every day.
So you were here for 2008 and 2012. We were talking about, how is Facebook and Twitter and social media changing the game?
Mm-hmm.
How is this now different? Is it different because of the platform, the Snapchat platform? How is this different?
I think what's different now is that young people, first-time voters, are increasingly disconnected from the traditional media ecosystem. They're not watching television. They're not reading the New York Times, but they are spending their time on places like Snapchat. 60% of 18 to 34-year-olds in this country who have a smartphone are using Snapchat. Mm-hmm. This weekend, I was covering CPAC in Washington, and everyone was using Snapchat to sort of document what was going on, what they were doing. The candidates they were meeting, they were using filters. It's genuinely a new thing. But again, I think the candidates who are using it are being rewarded for it.
How do you think social media is changing the game? I know it seems like a broad question, but how do you think, Gary?
It's just attention arbitrage. I mean, you can't reach an under 25-year-old in America unless you're on Instagram and Snapchat. Like, that's a factor. Like, it's just attention arb. This is always what's happened. If you really want to go back to what happened between radio and television, that's really the biggest con to this, what's going on right now. We are living through a massive communication shift in society, and people are grossly underestimating it.
So let me ask you this, Gary. Donald Trump has taken to Twitter to attack anybody and everybody.
Yes.
This is according to the New York Times. This is what the New York Times is saying. 202 people, places, and things Trump has insulted via Twitter. So here, if you put that up, and they say many of his fellow candidates for president, Democrats and Republicans, the voters, a podium in the Oval Office, Fox News, and many other media outlets, and a Neil Young song.
Yes.
So why isn't this alienating his supporters?
Guys, this is just another communication mechanism, right? Like, he's not executing any differently in the paper or on the radio or on television. It's just another medium for his strategy.
Is he unique?
I don't think. Go ahead.
Oh, I
please.
absolutely think among presidential candidates, absolutely. Some days it feels like Donald Trump, there are real questions about his campaign organization on the ground in some of these states, but some days when it comes to interacting with the media and knowing how the game works, it feels like he's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Like, it is a radically different media ecosystem in the campaign space than it was just 4 years ago.
I think we need to be careful about social media versus everything else, because these are Donald's. A lot of this is their teams. I mean, we haven't seen a live stream. Don, we haven't seen a live stream from any of these candidates.
Right.
Like, not one. So, like, yes, I believe Donald's doing his tweets if you look at it. Yes, like, I hear, like, India on my team says that Bernie's Bernie's doing it. But the fact of the matter is, not one Periscope, not one Facebook Live, because the truth is, it's still a secondary thing for a lot of them.
Okay, so they're using it like old people. Let's just be honest. Is
God,
that what
most
you're saying?
of America's using it like old people. This is not just a presidential candidate issue.
You look at some of the things that some of the candidates send out, like Secretary Clinton sent out something during the GOP debates, and you say, did she really send that out, or did someone on her
I mean, that is
team
the biggest problem. They
send
can
that out?
prove every day that it's, and Snapchat really allows them to prove it more than the other mediums, or Facebook Live.
Yeah.
And I think that they're substantially underestimating what happens when you go authentic on
Now,
it.
So
yeah,
being
and
you is
often-
the most successful approach.
Yeah, I mean, authenticity is kind of like a fetish in politics, and everyone aspires to it. They fake it.
Yes.
Look at Bernie Sanders, though. Bernie Sanders called Snapchat Snapshot on Snapchat one day over the summer in one of our live stories. But people loved it. People were tweeting about it because that's Bernie. And Bernie stands back from the camera and talks to the camera and isn't doing a selfie video. But that's okay because it's him. Every candidate's different. But I do think that when you're standing back and sort of your staff is doing it, it definitely doesn't come across.
When you look at what you're saying is, and I think my Snapchat went away from last night, but this is what, so it's weird. This is what my Snapchat looks like right now, right, with you
Using
guys.
the filter, I'm very impressed.
I just snapped it with you
I
guys
love it.
in the studio, and so people sort of know. By the way, it's Don_Lemon on Snapchat.
Bang.
But,
Plug.
The plug on Snapchat. But people know because on Snapchat you have to do it. You have to put it out there, right, live, or it doesn't
You're
go
not
out.
behind it,
You're
right?
not behind it. You're in front
Like
of
a
it.
team isn't behind your snap. It's not as easy as a tweet or a Facebook post.
I love it when people say, "You got to show me how to work Snapchat," and I'm like, "It is the easiest thing to work." But
I'm
no,
obsessed
you
with
don't?
it.
Okay,
No,
and-
I'm obsessed with it.
Okay, I want to look at this. Your favorite moment, Peter, from social media moment from the campaign trail so far.
This man.
Why do you love this moment so much?
It's just so perfect. The internet has been so great this cycle for all the complaints about the lack of substantive coverage and our attention spans. The memes that have come out of some of these press conferences are just fantastic.
Our attention spans are that way on television and everything else too. It's
Can
not
I
a
show you
separate
mine?
thing.
Can I show you mine? Can we play mine real quick?
And some of them are nice. I mean, they're nice people. Ben Carson said the other day that he wants to abolish Medicare. How can you?
He wasn't having it.
She's reading a book on racism, and then someone says, "Don't read the book," and she goes,
She's
"No,
gonna read it.
hilarious."
Yeah.
But these things would not happen if there weren't for social media. These little moments would not bubble up to the top like that.
Yeah, I mean they empower the country, empower the world to get creative
Don,
and
social-
create their own content.
Social media is the slang term for the current state of the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Yeah, go.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, come back. Don_Lemon on Snapchat. And coming up in the hour ahead, the role the race is playing in the 2016 presidential election. I had a chance to question Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders about their racial blind spots during last night's Democratic debate. We're going to talk about their responses to that question.